It's the Afternoon Blitz. Here are your hosts, Smokey, Captain Cool, and the Bandi Man.
How you like me now? How you like me now? How you like me now? How you like me now?
Remember the time. Hello and welcome in, everybody. It is Monday here in No Man's Land. Let me tell you, it's a madhouse Monday here in No Man's Land. Welcome to the Afternoon Blitz on the Tennessee Valley Blitz Sports Radio Network. I'm your host, Captain Cool.
Oh my goodness!
It's Captain Cool. Someone lose a grenade. Oh yeah. Make sure you guys find us online at theblitzsportsradio.com, as well as on Facebook at The Blitz Sports Radio and on Twitter at @TheBlitz_sports. And while you're at it, go and follow us on our Twitch and YouTube at WZZN TV. If you want an easier way to get to our YouTube page, just find us on 97.7 ESPN The Zone, and that'll get you there quicker, okay? And if you want to join in on the conversation today or create an audible, call us at 256-576-4977. This first hour is presented by Fleming Roofing and Restoration, because they show up when you need them and they get it done. They get the jobs done. It's winter time is coming. It's getting a little chilly, getting a little nippy outside, Bailey. You need to have all of your stuff insulated, and you need to have a nice looking roof on the top of your house. You're hanging with the chillest crew in sports radio. To my left, the one, the only, Bandi Man Bailey Lowry.
How is it going?
It's going great, especially because it's Monday and we have millions of little boys falling into the pit.
All the little bandies.
All the little bandies, okay? Your little children, as we say here in No Man's Land.
I mean, I always save one from the pit, though, each day.
Oh, yeah. No, you keep them away from the pit, you know? You're a good father to your children, so you got to make sure, at least one survives.
Well, this is going to be a good, what do we call it, overreaction Monday?
We say a madhouse Monday.
Madhouse Monday.
It's a madhouse Monday, okay? On the 97.7, the sister station, okay, they might do an overreaction Monday, but in this studio, okay, everything's a little crazy, okay? So everything could kind of be a little mad instead of overreacting, okay? So it's just, I like to go and just say it's a madhouse Monday.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very stellar. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. But before we get into all of that, let us introduce our producer, the one on the musical board, doing all the stuff, keeping us on the airways. His name is Smokey, my concho.
Smokey! With the ass
Yeah, we are.
It's been a minute since I've done that.
I think it was Friday last time you did it.
It might have been Friday.
Yeah,
maybe.
I guess it's been a few minutes.
There's been days have just been running together, man.
Yeah, no, I understand that.
But just wait till next week. Next week, you two might see me in my greatest glory.
Ooh,
Oh.
we're looking forward to that. What's going on?
Let's just say if that 11 a.m. kickoff game on Saturday goes the way that it's supposed to go, oh boy.
Well,
you're in the windbreaker Browns jacket. Oh boy.
Yeah. Well,
I will be making some people in here mad.
no, I understand that, but it's either gonna go one or two ways. All right.
And I mean, you of all people, you hate Tennessee. Your old man hates Tennessee.
I don't like Tennessee. Hey, but I've been at Tennessee though. It's a nice campus. My buddy goes to Tennessee, and I've had to sadly visit him a few times and be around all those other Tennessee Vols, and I'm just like,
sadly,
it was weird. It was a culture shock to me because I was a totally different kid inside of that big school that I've forever hated, because it's just kind of how I was growing up to be,
Shame.
Yeah, it's all right.
I mean,
You got
I don't hate the
raised
people.
most definitely the wrong way.
Yeah, but I mean, that's fine, though, because, Smokey, you got your game on Saturday. I mean, you got
We all got our
Tennessee
games
LSU.
this Saturday.
And we got Alabama A&M.
Yeah.
You mean Alabama and Texas A&M, not Alabama A&M.
Yeah,
I said Alabama and A&M.
There you go. And A&M. It could have been
But
Florida.
Texas A&M, but we all know who we're talking about.
Yeah.
We've all had this date marked on our calendar, every Alabama fan.
Oh yeah, and now that we saw what Alabama can do to a team that is Arkansas, I don't think this is going to be a game. I think this is going to be a bloodbath, especially with all the red.
That was a hell of a game, though.
It's a fun one.
I would say for 3 quarters, it was a hell of a game.
Yeah, I'll say I was on the edge of my seat for most of the time, just because it was a very entertaining game. Arkansas just never pulled it in too close to where I had to really worry too much, But
if they would have gotten that 2-point conversion and made it 28-25, how would you have really felt?
Well, I mean, I'm a Browns fan where teams come back all the time, so obviously I'm still going to watch the game. But at the same time, I know Alabama's more competent in beating a team instead of the Browns, who did not beat the Falcons this weekend. But
how about them Atlanta Falcons tied for the NFC South lead?
Yeah.
I know Chad's excited over there, but I was impressed. The running game got going after Patterson went out, which is a big shock to me because, Cordell Patterson is one of the top players. He was a player of the week last week. And then they go in, get these two guys from the practice squad, and they were running all over the Browns defense. They just didn't know what to do. We're supposed to be the guys that run all over the defenses with our amazing running back duo, but that just didn't seem to be the case.
Well, it's just, speaking of pro teams, God bless, if I swear to God.
You better not.
The Chicago Bears are just, my God.
Yeah. Hey, at least they're not the Broncos.
You want to talk? Yeah, at least the Broncos win. Damn it!
Once they won once. Okay.
They won yesterday.
Did they win? No.
Yeah.
Did they come back and win?
I believe so.
No, they didn't, boys. Come on, boys. I'm the NFL guy. All right, the Raiders beat them. Broncos don't know what they're doing.
I don't know. Oh, okay.
I guess the Broncos do have 2 wins. I guess.
2.
I didn't know that, but whatever.
And also 2 losses.
You know who also has 2 wins?
The Falcons.
The Buccaneers.
The New York Football Jets and Zach Wilson going mom hunting after that game yesterday.
I know. Stellar. And we got to see a little bit of Kenny Pickett. And it made me happy. I gotta admit.
But to get back into the college world, it's a hell. Well, I mean, we're gonna go college and pro reaction today.
Exactly.
You can follow us on Twitter and react with us on the Twitterverse. I'm at Rose Scholar. The captain's at CPT Cool 420. Bandi's at B Larry 2016. The station's at the Blitz _sports. In the college football world, let's pull it back to Bama and A&M coming this week. As A&M looks like a
they're a joke. It's a joke. It's turned into a joke
Mike
organization.
Leach did it again. The Pirate. The Pirate comes and just takes out Jimbo once again. And Jimbo right now, Feinbaum has put out that Jimbo, like there's some A&M boosters that are willing to pony up $80 million. $80 million. Man, we've also got coaches getting fired again with Carl Durrell out at Colorado. Paul Chris, surprisingly, out at Wisconsin.
See?
But from the tea leaves that I've been reading, it looks like they basically just want to give Jim Leonard a rehearsal to see if he's able to take over this job, because the word was that he was going to be the one that takes over for Paul Chris.
Yeah.
But with what's brewing at where game day is going to be at this week, they want to make sure, or they want to try and jump the gun a little bit and get ahead on and give Jim Leonard a try before this Lance Leopold ball just keeps on rolling into, like, not a softball, not even a pumpkin. Like, this is going to be like a wrecking ball coming in. Where's my Miley Cyrus? I need that for right now. But like Lance Leopold still, now Kansas is ranked.
I know.
Bama A&M week. We all expected game day to be at Tuscaloosa. Nope, they're in Lawrence, Kansas, with a ranked matchup with Kansas and TCU, which I got to say, the Big 12, besides Oklahoma.
Yeah. Embarrassing.
Oklahoma.
Continue. We'll talk about that later.
They actually have impressed me a little bit. Oklahoma State's doing very well as TCU, Kansas. They're all undefeated.
Mm-hmm.
The Big 12 has come up to be a solid number 3 conference behind. The Big 10 East is like, yeah. There's no Big 10 West. It's just the Big 10 East.
Yeah.
There's no West anymore.
No West.
Practically.
Like we're going to be seeing Minnesota.
No, we're
in
not.
the championship game.
I'd hope not, because they just lost to Purdue. But it's whatever.
It's going to be rowing the boat all the way to Indianapolis, because who else are you going to pick?
Nobody.
Who is there? Wisconsin is not good.
No.
Minnesota, they lost to Purdue. Purdue, I mean, what the hell? It's going to be Ohio State or Michigan against a cupcake.
Yeah.
That's what it's going to. And in the SEC, it's actually kind of like got Ole Miss defeating Kentucky, Old Lane doing Lane things yet again.
Nice. It was a stellar game, by the way.
Yeah, most definitely. Will Levis fumbling with about 2 minutes less to or not even 2 minutes. It was right at a minute left to go.
Travesty.
To sealed the loss for Kentucky, which now puts, again, 4 SEC teams in the top 10. Kentucky is replaced by Ole Miss. And now we have a little bit more balance from 2 from the West and 2 from the East in the top 10.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So
a lot of shakeup, too, in that top 25 poll, too. Okay. Lot of shakeup.
Anyway, I'm done rambling. So, Captain, lead us to sea.
Well, before you're done rambling, how about you tell the people where they can find us on the Twitters and all that stuff?
I did that.
You did that? Okay. Well, I guess I had myself...
If you would have paid attention.
I had myself a Smokey Mike moment right there, all right? But continuing on, okay, today is Monday, October 3rd. That's right, everybody. It's officially spooky season. Let's give it a round of applause.
Let's go.
4, 5 claps.
I will give that too.
Everybody loves it.
Would you stop it? Spooky season is a fantastic time. Me and the wife already started doing it with Hocus Pocus too.
We love it, dude. We love it. We putting up decorations, having a great time. A lot of pumpkin spice lattes in the system.
No pumpkin spice.
No pumpkin spice.
It really does feel like.
Are you a basic biatch?
I like how.
No. I'm just a guy that
Are
likes
you one that likes your pumpkin spice?
I don't care where it's from. I don't care if it's from Starbucks. I don't care if it's from McDonald's. I don't care if it's from freaking Trader Joe's. I'm going to just gulp down all the pumpkin spice lattes that are put in front of my face because you know what? There's nothing like starting the fall season and the spooky season like gulping down a good old pumpkin spice latte.
You disgust me.
You
Now,
disgust
see,
me.
Chick-fil-A tried to trick me. Because
The
they
Shamrock
don't
Shake.
label it as pumpkin spice. They label it as autumn spice.
Autumn spice.
Autumn
what the-
spice.
You should know better.
Of course they do.
Now, I
That-
saw that. I'm like, could that be different? But I'm like, no, that's definitely just pumpkin spice. There's no way.
Did you get it?
No.
Oh, I wanted to actually know what the review was on that, but
I can't stand pumpkin.
all right, well, that's fine.
Or pumpkin
It's not
flavor.
even pumpkin.
It's pumpkin
It's
spice.
Like,
It's the spice.
I tried this pumpkin spice one time, and it's like it's flippin' cinnamon.
Yeah, jeez. Yeah, it's good though. It's
You
good.
know
though.
what I like with cinnamon? I like it in my snickerdoodle. That's
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
By the way, there are Snickerdoodle Pop Tarts, which I did not know of. I learned that today when I was browsing through my girlfriend's pantry. But let's get back into it because we got to talk about what to know about in the Blitz today. Okay, it turns out Tua's personal doctor did just as good of a job as some random dude in a lab coat because he's out of a career in Miami and probably won't get another job in the NFL ever. Again, we were talking about that last week. Got a little intense. We kind of just put trust towards that doctor. We're not going to say any names, but turns out he made several mistakes. And, yeah, Tua's probably not going to be back for a few weeks. Definitely not this upcoming matchup. And expect to see Bridgewater behind the snaps, behind the center for Miami fans. You guys just enjoy that. He's a solid quarterback, like we were saying.
I need him.
He
I
could
need a quarterback.
He could start somewhere. He could start somewhere if he really, really wanted to, okay? But that's just a different story. Oklahoma, along with 9 other top-ranked teams, lost this week. But Oklahoma made sure they'll be in the news with this one because holy moly, guys, they must have forgot their defense at home because TCU upset the Sooners 55-24. It's good to see TCU doing it, what they do.
Sadly, the race to 62 did not happen
I
at
know.
all on Saturday. It was expected. We were expected to see it. We were wondering which one would do it, the Horned Frogs or Aaron Judge,
Yeah.
as the cut-ins still happen. And Sean McDonough has killed me with these cut-ins. Have you got, like,
I saw some
Bandi,
of 'em.
did you hear any of or did you see any of that Kentucky Ole Miss game?
I did a little bit. It was
So,
going on during the Army game.
During the cut, well, so you probably didn't hear Sean McDonough during the cut-ins when they cut into Judge. He was just absolutely hating it. You could tell by the tone of his voice that he's like, "This is the dumbest damn thing that we could possibly do. Why are we cutting into baseball when we're doing college football?"
It's so funny. It's so funny. Sports, dude, it's just a spectrum, guys, all right? We should all enjoy all the sports together, and whenever somebody's doing history, why not? I mean, they're doing you a favor by showing you, hey, I didn't miss – you could say in the future, I didn't miss out on Aaron Judge's number 62 because ESPN was so nice to show everything that he was doing at the time. So, I mean, you guys can be upset, but I'm all for it.
Oh,
but
and we are going to be talking a little bit of baseball later because of what happened the weekend, right?
That's totally fine. That's
All
totally fine. By the way, with TCU beating Oklahoma, TCU now pretty much traded spots, and the Frogs are now 18th in the country, and Oklahoma is nowhere to be seen on the top 25. So see you later, Oklahoma. You'll probably be back by the end of the year. The Braves swept the Mets last night, making them the second NL team to join the 100 win club. Good job, Braves. They're just rocking and rolling. Let's see if they can actually clinch it all when it's all said and done, okay?
Are you kidding me? You give no detail on it that now the magic number is 1?
No.
Do
No
I need
detail.
to play some Timmy Trumpet here either?
No.
No?
Maybe in a little bit. Maybe when you want to go off on it. But we got to move on to another baseball story. Albert Pujols bombs yet another ball, giving him 702 homers on his career. Big stuff. And Judge, he stays at 61 for now. And he only has 4 games left. Is that right? And they're playing against the Texas Rangers. At the Texas Rangers. So it's going to be a little bit of intense time. I'm going to have to watch every single one of those games to make sure I don't miss a thing. Because he might have 63. He might have 64. He might still have 61 by the end of that series. We're going to look forward to it. But moving back to Pujols, he now sits just ahead of the one, the only Babe Ruth, with the second most RBIs in MLB history at, get this, 2,214. Sheesh.
Dang.
I think it's safe to say that that's probably where he's going to end off his RBI career. I mean, he's probably going to add a few more, but he's going to stay in that second spot. Okay. He's going to stay there. He's going to stay there because that next spot, way up ahead. But later in the show, we'll be talking about the football preview, pretty much everything that happened over the weekend. I guess it's more of a review. Sorry about that. And it's going to be intense because we had no shortage. It was just constant entertainment. Browns lost, but what's new? But it doesn't matter because all the other games were just spectacular, okay? I'm definitely looking at that Seahawks-Lions game. That game was just wacky. Absolutely wacky. But we'll be discussing the biggest winners and losers as well as the implications moving forward in the season on the cool segment of the show. And then Bandi is going to cover all the gaming news, including a salty hacker who completely ruined the competitive scene in one fighting game, as well as the end of a game that's getting replaced by the same game, but with some new maps and characters. So make sure you stay tuned in on that. I'm very excited to talk about it. The game's Overwatch, by the way. It wasn't really a secret. The game's been it's been set to announce, or it's been set to come out on the 4th of October. Overwatch 1 is gone. I wanted to do a video on it, but I did not. So I'll have to move on with my life. Now I'm looking at you, Smokey. What did you want to talk about baseball? Because I don't keep up with baseball as much as you do.
Well, we've only got 6 games left in the season.
Yeah.
Or not 6 games, or 3 games.
3 or 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we got playoff implications. Atlanta is basically 1 game or 1 win or a Mets loss,
Yeah.
which, honestly, you know, it kills me because being a part of ball Twitter, I get the whole lot of things that ball Twitter is all involved with.
Yeah.
And one of them being the Atlanta Braves. The Atlanta Braves is where Alabama fan, Vol fan, and Georgia fan can all come together and be like, this is the one thing we all can agree on.
It's true.
Yep.
It's true.
It's insane because just seeing the Twitter setup for last night after the victory the victory that Kenley Jansen saved. Kenley Jansen and Will Smith is like Will Smith last year. It is beautiful that it's just like you never know what you're gonna get. It's a box of chocolates.
Nah, exactly. I mean, we got plenty
But
of
we
stuff
also
that went on.
got the Seattle Mariners clinching officially and
Padres.
Padres officially clinching.
Yeah.
We are just waiting on that last particular wild card.
The Mariners clinching is wild because what haven't they had like a playoff drought
That
for
was
like
the longest playoff drought in the 4 major sports.
dang.
Was the Mariners, because the last time they did it, last time they made the playoffs was 2001.
Sheesh.
What was special about 2001?
Ichiro
Rookie year of Ichiro in the MLB.
Wasted his career.
wasted.
Afterwards, yeah. Come on. The Padres, though, with them.
So right now we're looking at pretty much a New York Mets San Diego Padre wild card session, and it's going to be in New York City. It's going to be at Citi Field. The way I'm very intrigued to see how these rotations are going to be because Padres and Mets both have their big 3 starters that are just solid. And granted, DeGrom, Scherzer, and Bassett did not do too hot against Atlanta.
Yeah.
Atlanta's just getting on fire at the right time like they did last year. Houston is also another intriguing one, but the way these rotations are going to go, because Toronto has got Gosman and they got Manoah. they've got Gosman and Manoa. These 3 games, I wanted to see exactly how they're going to set it up because with the way it's set up, the higher seeds are going to be hosting all 3 games. So will these lower seeds be able to do 2 out of 3 in the road aspect to get victories?
It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough, but we'll see. I hope the Padres can pull away with a win.
One thing that I'm actually pretty glad for too is that there will be no reseeding.
No reseeding?
No reseeding after the wild card round. So it's automatically the winner of the Mets and the Padres, if that ends up being the case. But I'm basically assured. I'm pretty sure that's good. They're gonna be playing the Dodgers, while the Braves will get the winner of the Cardinals and either the Brewers or I just lost my train of thought.
It's okay. Hey, that happens. That happens. But like I was saying though, with the Padres, this is their second playoff clinch since 2006. Okay, so they've got a lot on the line. Okay, so going
Phillies.
there you go.
Why do I forget? Oh wait, because the Phillies have sucked in September for the last 5 years.
Yeah. It's about right.
Yeah, that is true.
Good little excuse.
All right, but yeah, I'm done with my baseball talk. So
Okay, well that's fine. But I'm looking forward to seeing how the Padres could do though, because making this the second time they've clinched since 2006 and having to go up either against the Mets or the Braves, which we're thinking it's going to be the Mets. Okay, I want to know like what type of power they're going to bring in, because we know, the Padres, they started off the season and they went pretty hot throughout the whole time, but it kind of got a little shaky near in the end. But at the same time, I want to see them win. I want to see them win. And you know what? I said it earlier in this whenever we first started the show. I said Padres, they're going to the World Series.
Okay.
Now that might have just jinxed them because I have that type of thing. I do that a lot. I jinx a lot of people. Aaron Judge might not hit 62 home runs because of me. But either way, I'm still standing by it, Padres, to the World Series. Yep.
You go. Well, once the playoffs get officially set, we can all make our prognostications and try and predict who will win, which right now I'm thinking about doing a repeat of last year. Have an Astros-Braves World Series yet again. Well, part 2.
Part 2. By the way, it's 2-2-2. That's the time right now, so it was perfect to say it.
Also, we've got, just to let people know, too, we've got Patrick Garvin of UGAsports.com coming up at 3 o'clock as, we go with Auburn, and we're based in Alabama. So Alabama, Auburn are the 2 teams that we got to focus on. Why do I need to go with Auburn? Auburn and the way that Brian Harsin has melted down in the second half for the last 9, 10, I don't know how many games. He's had a lead in majority of these games at halftime. Bama, Missouri, Missouri they won, end up winning in overtime. LSU, they were up 17-0. It looked like everything was rocking and rolling with Robbie Ashford, and then all of a sudden halftime hit. And then LSU comes back 21 points and wins 21-17. So with Auburn going up against Georgia this weekend, I figured we'd get a little bit of Georgia talk in here because what the hell happened in Como?
I'm scared that we're going to see a little bit of that next week, though. Auburn gets out ahead pretty quick, and then they just don't have the power to steamroll it to the end, and they just lose in the second half.
Well, Georgia almost lost it to Missouri. I mean, Missouri had the lead for 3 quarters.
That's what I'm saying.
The hell?
Yeah. A lot of questions to be had and a lot of questions to be answered. But right now, we're going to take a little break. When we come back, what are we doing when we come back? I can't hear you. I can't.
I should have unmuted my.
It's all right.
I went too fast with the mute. Hell, let's do the NFL recap.
Let's do the NFL recap when we get back. You're listening to the Afternoon Blitz.
This is Wes Neighbors with Philip with Eagle Insulation, and we have an announcement to make.
Yes, Wes, we are now Eagle Masonry and Insulation. Still a place to call for your installation needs, but now we offer masonry services.
What kind of masonry projects can you handle?
Wes, no job is too big, no job is too small. We can do renovations, new construction, outdoor fireplaces, fire pits, brick landscape borders.
Well, when you came out to my house, you did both the insulation and masonry at the same time. You guys did rock for me, you did brick for me, and you insulated my house. That's usually done at the same time that you're building a house.
Absolutely. It really capitalizes on 2 services you need at the same time, and you can get one company to handle both of those.
fill up with legal insulation, will come out, do your installation. He'll do your masonry. They do a great job. They guarantee your work. Check out more online at insulatedwitheagle.com and schedule your free examination today. 256-755-1556.
Thanks, Wes.
I'm a firefighter.
A teacher.
I'm a farmer. I'm a barber.
A waitress.
A mom.
We're all part of your community.
Every day we move in and out of each other's busy lives.
It's easy to take for granted all the little moments that make up our everyday.
Some are good,
others not so much.
But that's life. It's when you experience a moment of uncertainty.
Something or someone's behavior that doesn't seem quite right.
These are the moments to take a pause.
Because if something doesn't feel right, it's probably not.
It's not about paranoia
or being afraid.
It's about standing up and protecting our communities.
One detail at a time.
Because a lot of little details can become a pattern.
We
trust our instincts.
Just like you should.
Because only you know what's not supposed to be in your everyday.
So protect your everyday.
If you see something suspicious, say something to local authorities.
Are you in the market for a recreational vehicle? Do you want to get out and see more of this beautiful country? Well, imagine hearing the laughter of your little ones enjoying gooey s'mores by a cozy campfire and making lasting memories with your friends and family from the comfort of a new camper. We can make your dreams come true at Hall's RV. With over 15 years in the camping business, we know how to get our customers into the perfect camper. We have several models and floor plans here for you to choose from, both new and used. We're family owned and operated with fantastic deals and great service. Everyone wants to work with people they can trust, so come on down to Hall's RV and get the deal of a lifetime. We'll treat you right and get you on the road in the camper of your dreams. Visit us on Highway 431 in Albertville. Hall's RVs, where we sell fun. Or see us on the web at www.hallsrvsales.com.
Okay, Sarah, I'm dropping you at Emily's, and Josh, you're going to soccer, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, and by the way, when I pick you up, I'll be wearing my short shorts.
What?
No!
Yep, me and my short shorts doing my daddy dance. Your friends will love it.
No!
Well, I might change my mind if you buckle your seatbelts.
Okay, we're buckling up.
See, all buckled.
Whatever it takes, keep them safe. Never give up until they buckle up. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council. Visit safercar.gov/kidsbuckleup for more information.
Trying to get a mention. Come on up. Hello, and welcome back to the Madhouse Monday here in No Man's Land. This is the Afternoon Blitz. I'm your host, Captain Cool. Sitting right next to me is the Bandi Man.
Yo.
And behind the glass, spinning the tracks, keeping us on the airways, the one, the only Smokey Mike.
Go Vols.
Now, we had a lot of crazy stuff happen in football this weekend. I lost yet again in fantasy. It's not for sure yet, okay? My kicker could still beat you, but I don't know. Who do you have? Like Kittle? You have Kittle or somebody in?
Yeah, I've got George Kittle.
Yeah. I think it's a lost cause. So I have only won one game. This is week 1. I don't know how many more games I'll win, but I think I'll try a little harder going forward. All right. And I know Smokey, you're not doing too well in it either. So.
Well, I didn't lose to your mom though.
Not yet. You're gonna lose to my mom. Also, Tom, he's losing to my mom. He's about to lose to my mom. Let's make it. My mom has beaten 2 of the guys in the Blitz and one of the guys, the main dude in 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Shame.
Yeah, we're just a bunch of embarrassments. Honestly, Mom is. It's Tom's fault though. Okay, he pretty much drafted the whole team and he gave my mom all the best players. It's just ridiculous. She's going to win the championship and she's probably going to get a cool ring. And then now there's going to be 3 rings inside that household, and I don't know. It's just my ring's not going to be as cool, and I don't like that. But like I said, we're going to be recapping a few of the games that went on, and that's all coming up on the cool segment of the show.
Wait, say that one more time.
On the Blues. I meant to say the Blitz.
On the cool.
So hot in here.
That's spicy meatball.
So it's time to cool down with Captain Cool.
Oh, yeah. That's right. All right, baby, straight into the action. I already covered all of what happened in the Bengals versus the Dolphins game. I need my music before I get too in-depth. Start that bad boy up. Thank you, Smokey. It's time to duel. First things first, yesterday, a game in London. Didn't even know what was going on because I got home from church and I saw that the game was over already. Vikings and the Saints. The Saints whipped out the new black helmets. Let me tell you, I don't know why they did because it didn't look too good with their white jerseys, I will say. But it still looked pretty cool. Vikings, Saints, crazy matchup. Kirk Cousins threw for 273 yards, 1 touchdown. Andy Dalton, that's right, Andy Dalton's back. What is this, the Bengals? Andy Dalton threw 236 for 1 touchdown. It really was. It was a solid game, but Justin Jefferson did it all. 10 receptions, 147 yards. Bandi's wide receiver beat me before I could even get a player on the field. Vikings win that one in a close matchup, 28-25. Moving on. Bills-Ravens. Now, I told you guys last week this was going to be a crazy matchup because both of the quarterbacks are also running backs. Oh, he skipped straight to it. He skipped straight to the song.
I didn't. That's just the way it went.
It just continuously goes. All right, Bills, Ravens, 2 powerhouses of teams. We don't know how the Ravens are going to play still because they just cannot finish a game. But the Bills look like they were lacking. They look like they were still playing the Dolphins last week. They just didn't know what they were doing. But Josh Allen threw for 213 yards, 1 touchdown. Josh Allen did running too. He had 11 attempts for 70 yards, 1 touchdown. Oh, it's just a running game because Lamar Jackson threw for 144 yards, 1 touchdown, while also running for 73 yards. This one was actually ridiculous. The Ravens need to learn how to finish a game because they, again, didn't score in the second half. Bills win this one 23-20. Ravens still 2-2, tied up with the Browns. And also the Steelers. Well, no, the Steelers are the dumpster fire. The Bengals, sorry. Moving on. The Giants got to rock their sick throwback gear. This is 2 weeks in a row they wore this. This time they're wearing it with the blue jerseys. They're at home this time. They got to play up against Smokey's Bears. Oh, my gosh. Bears couldn't get anything going. They really couldn't get anything going. All field goals.
Santos.
Non-stop.
Wait, it wasn't Santos. It was the Money Badger.
It was the Money Badger. All field goals. 12 points. That's all the Bears got. Wasn't enough. The Giants win this one 20-12. Just feels average. Daniel Jones, worse. We got to see a little bit of Tyrod Taylor. That was cool. Didn't do too much, but you know what? Saquon Barkley showed out. 31 attempts. Man's doing literally it all. 146 yards. That game, terrible. Terrible. Cool jerseys, though, by the Giants. Moving on. The Browns versus the Falcons, guys. It's getting very annoying being a Browns fan, especially because Jacoby Brissett does not throw the ball down the field. He threw one pass past 20 yards, I think. I believe so. Cooper Kupp, non-existent. He didn't do crap this week.
What are you talking about?
Or not Cooper Kupp. I'm sorry. I'm moving straight to that. I'm talking about Amari Cooper. Sorry
Yeah,
about that.
man.
It's Cooper names, okay?
They hadn't even played yet.
It's Cooper names. Cooper Kupp always does it. Amari Cooper, on the other hand, if you don't throw him the ball, he's not going to do anything. Pretty sure he had 1 reception for like 9 yards maybe. That was it. Terrible. Jacoby Brissett actually threw for 234 yards, which looks decent, seeing how Marcus Mariota threw for 139. Neither of these guys threw any touchdowns. It was just terrible. Jacoby Brissett, I just don't understand. I just don't understand. You got to throw it down the field. Nick Chubb had to do pretty much everything. And then we had the practice squad guys showing up for the Falcons, running the ball, running it down the throats. Don't even know these guys' names. What is it, like, was it Algier and what was the other guy's name? I don't know if you know him. I don't have his name on here, but yeah, they just ran the ball straight up down the Browns' throats. Browns lose this one yet again. 23-20. They just gotta. Deshaun Watson, where you at? Where you at? You gotta show up. Jaguars, Eagles. Jaguars looked amazing right off the bat. They had 14 points in the first quarter. Went on, didn't score anything until the fourth quarter. Eagles came back pretty quick, and they win that one, okay? Jalen Hurts looking pretty good, 204 yards, where Trevor Lawrence really starting to feel something there in Jacksonville. But too bad they were not in Jacksonville this week. They fall 29-21. But I see a lot of future, a lot of nice touchdowns coming from Trevor Lawrence in this Jaguars team. They're getting somewhere. They just need to finish these games. Moving on. Chargers Texans in Houston. This one was kind of wonky, okay? Justin Herbert back doing what he does, okay? Showing out. 340 yards, 2 touchdowns. Crazy stuff. Davis Mills, is that his name? I don't even know. Davis Mills. The guy that, yeah.
Come on, man.
No, I know, trust me. I don't follow the Texans too much, okay? I only watched
Texans give you good points, man. Davis Mills is a solid quarterback. Brandon Cooks usually is a good PPR guy.
See, I had Brandon Cooks last year in fantasy. I don't have him this year. I just didn't trust it.
And then Damian Pierce has been rocking and rolling.
Yeah.
Started yesterday.
Yeah. Davis Mills, though, 2 touchdowns thrown, 246 yards, looking pretty great. Eckler, 13 attempts, 60 yards, 2 touchdowns. That's right. Chargers look pretty freaking stellar in this game. I gotta admit, their defense not too much there, but they did it just enough. They get the dub, 34-24. Moving on, Jets Steelers. Now this one was quite entertaining. Mitchell Trubisky did not do anything. It's surprising, but he also didn't do that bad, at least in my opinion. But going into the second half, he got kicked off to the side. They said, it's time. It's Pickett time. Kenny Pickett jumps into the game, throws for 120 yards. Doesn't do too much, but Najee Harris had a pretty solid game, 74 yards, and just the rest of the Steelers just had to kind of pick it up. Okay, Zach Wilson, he's back. What do you think he did? He won the game. 24-20, Zach Wilson threw for 252 yards, 1 touchdown pass.
No mom is safe.
No mom is safe. Spectacular game. It's good to see the Steelers losing, but that's just me. Now moving on to one of the best games in my opinion, Seahawks-Lions. Holy crap, let me tell you, high-scoring game. There was no shortage of plays in this game. Big plays. Geno Smith still showing he's a solid starter. He could start for the Seahawks. I don't care. I think the fans are pretty happy with his performances. He had 320 yards passing. Let me put on my glasses. 2 touchdowns. DK Metcalf had to go to the bathroom. Still did amazing. He got carted off the field. And I thought he was injured. No. He just had to take a number 2. He had 7 receptions, 149 yards. The man was beast. But no, don't worry about it, because Jared Goff did even better. 378 yards passing, 5 touchdowns. 1 for the other team, so technically it's 4 touchdowns. But still, that pick 6 was kind of dirty. Williams, 108 yards, 2 touchdowns. Man is stellar in fantasy, I'll tell you that much. Great stuff by him. Moving on. Seahawks win that one, 48-45. I don't even know. The Lions just keep coming back at the end. They just could not finish it. But no shortage of scores in that one. Moving on. Titans-Colts. Always a great matchup in history. Great rivalry. This one, just about the same. Titans get out to a pretty quick lead, 14-0. The Colts come back, 10 points in the second. In the third, Colts score again. They got 17. Titans, they just have the lead already. They just have to hold it. That's all they do. They get away with the win. Ryan Tannehill, 2 touchdowns. Derrick Henry still getting the trucks rolling. 22 attempts, 114 yards rushing, 1 touchdown. Matt Ryan looking pretty good in this one. I think the Colts man got something going for him. Titans were just too much for him. Matt Ryan threw for 356 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jonathan Taylor did not do anything. That's where it went down for the Colts. They needed that run game. They didn't get it. And on the other side, obviously, Derrick Henry was getting it. Moving on. Commanders, Cowboys. Used to be a great matchup. Now the Commanders wearing black jerseys. I don't know who the hell I'm looking at. Looks like a college team with a W on the front. It's kind of weird because they don't get any W's. Except for that one that they had. Cowboys win this one 25-10. Carson Wentz did pretty decent. Cooper Rush, still the best quarterback ever. He's won 4 games now as a starter. You know how many losses he's got? 0. He's an absolute dog. 2 touchdowns, 223 yards passing. Just great stuff. Ezekiel Elliott, nothing. CeeDee Lamb, something. 6 receptions, 97 yards, and a touchdown. Again, Cowboys win that one 25-10. Moving on. We get to see Baker Mayfield here in the Cardinals versus Panthers. Baker Mayfield getting booed nonstop. Crazy stuff. Obviously would happen. Man's too short. That's what stinks. He's a spectacular player if he was 4 inches taller. He looks at least like he's a stellar guy, okay? He just couldn't get over that line. There's a few interceptions thrown by him. Oh, jeez. He just, oof. The crowds, they didn't have no love for him.
You happen to see what Stephen A. Smith had to say about Baker?
What do you have to say about him?
I want the camera to look at me right now. Baker Mayfield, you look awful.
He looks good on the rollout, I will say that, but he rolls out too much, and also he just can't get it over that line. So many times with the ball batted up, batted down, batted up into other people's hands, the defense's hands. Man had 197 yards passing, 1 touchdown, decent, I guess. Christian McCaffrey just couldn't get it going on the rushing game, but maybe as a receiver, he was pretty good. 81 yards, 1 touchdown. Kyler Murray, 207 yards, 2 touchdowns. It was just a decent game. It was a decent game, I gotta say. Panthers kind of lost this one, though, going into the end. Cardinals scored 16 points in the 4th, and Panthers really just couldn't do anything about it. Oof. Baker Mayfield. He's not getting benched just yet, though. I'll say that. Sam Darnold, his time's not here, okay? I think they still see something. They might just put, like, 2 blocks of wood under Baker Mayfield's feet, and I think he'll be fine. With, like, cleats sticking out, like, maybe stick some nails in there. I don't know. Broncos, Raiders. This one was pretty good. This was a pretty entertaining little matchup. Russell Wilson, he looks like a solid quarterback, but he just doesn't have the team, okay? He doesn't have the team. He just can't get anything going. Both of these teams, actually, having a kind of a tough time. Just a tough time.
You know, personally, I don't even think he's got talent around him. You know what he doesn't have? Like a coach that can actually do a damn.
Yeah. We don't know. We don't know what's going on with that. The whole situation for Denver is just not. It's not it. Okay, you got a star quarterback. You got some nice players around you. The rushing game, it was nothing for the Broncos. Russell Wilson had to do that too. 4 attempts, 29 yards, 1 touchdown rushing. His passing game, pretty decent, pretty solid. 237 yards, 2 touchdowns. Derek Carr at 188, no touchdowns, but it's okay because Jacoby Jacobs got the 28 attempts, 144 yards, 2 touchdowns. Man, spectacular. Who's got him on fantasy, by the way, Smokey? You know?
Who?
Jacoby Jacobs.
Does anyone have Jacoby Jacobs?
Who is it, Jacoby
Josh Jacobs. Sorry, Josh Jacobs.
Yeah, Josh Jacobs.
Sorry.
Okay, yeah, he's got Josh.
Former Alabama.
I need to look that up.
I don't know who's got him. Either way.
I don't know either, but I can look it up.
Either way, Broncos just can't find the way to win. But the Raiders, they used to be winless. Now they're up on the board. There's only one winless team left. Ugh. This is gross. Patriots and Packers got a little bit more intense than I thought it would be because first off, the Patriots come into this game with the second string quarterback, Brian Hoyer. Absolute dog from the Browns. Remember that? He was the Browns. Then he went straight to the Patriots. He's been a backup at the Patriots for the last, 5 years. I don't know. He got injured right off the bat. Then I was working out and I saw this guy, Bailey Zappe. Zape? I don't know. Zappy? Zoopy? I don't know.
Oh, by the way, your old man's got Josh Jacobs.
Of course he does. Spectacular. He knows who he's picking. But, yeah. This game, the Packers, dude, the defense is just not there. Aaron Rodgers might be a little washed up, but you know what? He still had 251 yards passing, 2 touchdowns. Where Zappy, 99 yards, 1 touchdown. Ugh. Aaron Jones, 16 attempts, 110 yards. Pretty good. Alan Lazard, I should have put him in. He had 116 yards in reception. It was just, I don't even know how the freaking Patriots came and just stayed with them. Packers just really, they're a little shaky. I want to see what the Browns could do against them. We'll see about that. Maybe in the playoffs. I don't know. We'll see. Moving on. Chiefs, Buccaneers. Another high-scoring game against 2 goats. One of them's a young goat. One of them's an old goat. I talked about this last week. The old goat against the other old goat. Packers versus Buccaneers. Pretty good game. Packers pull that one out. This time, maybe the Buccaneers can kind of redeem themselves. Do they? No. Patrick Mahomes, absolute magic, guys. This guy is magical. I don't know what he does, what he eats in the morning. This guy's slippery, and he's elusive. Those are probably the exact same like words, but you know what? Either way, he gets away, and then he just tosses balls. He just tosses these balls. Scoring touchdowns just nonstop. Man's actually just crazy. 3 touchdowns, 249 yards passing. Whew, dude, it was just a stellar game by the Chiefs. They really showed out. And, last week they lost against the Colts, whatever. They go up against the Buccaneers right here in Tampa Bay. We didn't know if there was going to be a hurricane coming in. I don't know. I think it just passed them or something. They get the win. Chiefs get the win 41-31. It was kind of just catch-up. It was catch-up for the Buccaneers. You know, you score 2 touchdowns in both the first and the second quarter. Buccaneers they're just chasing. They're just chasing. Tom Brady had himself a stellar game, though. Of course he did. He's Tom Brady. He's Tom freaking Brady. He's the oldest GOAT. Tom Brady had 385 yards passing with 3 touchdowns. Very spectacular. Mike Evans showed why he's still just such an amazing wide receiver. He's not talked about enough. He's just not. Okay? 8 receptions, 103 yards, 2 great touchdowns. This man's a leader. I'd love him on my team. But he's been on freaking Buccaneers for the last 7 years, 7+ years. Jeez. And then we all know what happened in the Bengals versus the Dolphins game. Tua got his bell rang. Teddy Bridgewater had to come in. All that stuff. Bengals still win that one. 27-15. Guys, let me know, okay? Real quick. Biggest winners, biggest losers. We also got the Rams versus the 49ers tonight. But we'll talk about that one tomorrow. Who do you guys think performed the best this weekend? Who do you guys think performed the worst?
Bandy?
Bandy, I'm going to go to you first.
I'm going to say for a big winner, I'm not going to go with a team. I'm going to go with a player. I'm going to say Jared Goff.
Okay, yes.
And honestly, putting up those insane numbers, 378 yards, 4 touchdowns, 48-45 win over the Lions. I'd say he was definitely the most impressive this week.
Well, he lost, but he did a pretty good job.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry. Yeah, I forgot. Quarterback.
Yeah.
It doesn't. I was looking at the score in his stat line. It's like, this makes sense with what the score is.
Oh, yeah. No, he was spectacular. I will say that. But Geno Smith was just a little bit better. Jared Goff did throw that pick 6 that really just kind of took away from the team. But these 2 high-scoring games, you don't know if the offenses are just amazing or if the defensive suck. I think it is probably the latter. But either way, big points by him. He did a great job. If I had him at quarterback, I'd be happy, but I probably wouldn't have him in next week. It's just going to be honest. I don't know what he's going to do. He's a freaking ticking time bomb. But, yeah, he did look pretty spectacular. You got any teams you want to say that were big winners, or who's the biggest loser? You can tell me that.
Loser, probably the Dolphins.
Dolphins?
Going into this week, it actually just got reported 2 hours ago that Tua's going to be out for this week's game against the Jets with a concussion.
Yeah.
So...
Hey, and they would need Tua because the Jets are on a roll right now, okay? Coming off of beating the Steelers. I mean, Steelers probably a little worse than the Jets in all reality, but still, I think the Dolphins might have a pretty good chance because Teddy Bridgewater's still spectacular quarterback. But with Zach Wilson being back, finding those MILFs, doing what he does best, I think he's going to be a safe bet, and it's going to be tough to see what the Dolphins are going to be doing in these next few weeks without the Tua Tagovailoa. Smokey, biggest winner, biggest loser, go.
Biggest winner, I got to say, I'm going with the division on this one.
Okay.
As the NFC East has become the NFC Beast, with the Eagles, Cowboys, and the New York Giants all winning.
Oh, yeah.
Cowboys, Cooper Rush, rock and roll. It just showed that the Cowboys' issue was the game plan.
Yeah.
If Dak comes in and does this game plan, he's going to be fine.
We'll see.
Cooper Rush is like, Dak's better than Cooper Rush. You know that.
You think?
Yeah.
Okay.
But if they do this, and then you've got the New York Football Giants at 3-1. Who in the hell had that?
Nope, I didn't.
Run the ball by Dayball has been doing a good thing right there. Saquon's been making some moves.
Yeah.
Daniel Jones has been running the football too, even though his status for this upcoming week is in question. And then the Eagles, the lone undefeated team. After coming back from 14 down against the Jags, Jalen Hurts right now is making himself a good case for MVP this year.
Yeah, I will say it is night and day compared to last year with that conference because they had like one game that they won in the span of like 4 weeks, They were just terrible. All of those teams, just terrible.
And biggest loser of the week?
It's gonna be the Browns.
No. Browns were close.
Browns are pretty
but
bad.
I gotta say the Indianapolis Colts.
Okay.
Losing to the Tennessee Titans. Granted, I was expecting a Derrick Henry game to come, and it sure as hell happened against the Colts.
Yeah.
But the thing is that Colts have talent. Jonathan Taylor, I mean, ran 43 yards on 20 carries.
Yeah.
This Colts offensive line is solid. It was a top 10 NFL offensive line. But it's what Nyheim Hines said yesterday after the game, saying, you look at that team over there with the Tennessee Titans, you see that one quarterback each and every year in Ryan Tannehill. We're flipping around quarterbacks year after year after year, and it's a problem.
It's true. It's
So
true. Maybe they'll get something going, though, with Matt Ryan. Okay.
That is my biggest loser right there is the Indianapolis Colts.
Slowly getting into it. I'll say biggest loser for me, obviously, I got to say the Browns. Falcons pretty big winner, but I'm not going to go into all that because we don't have enough time. But the Browns need to run the ball, and they need to run it good. But I don't know. I'm not a coach, so they'll never hear me. They'll never hear me say that. Unless he's listening right now. Are you listening? Stefanski, are you listening? He's probably not. It's okay. Whenever we come back, we're going to preview the second hour. We're also going to talk about some other wacky stuff. I don't know. That's all coming up on the Afternoon Blitz.
The Blitz has been called.
Are you tired of chasing a roofing contractor to show up on time or even show up at all? I'm Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Our motto at Fleming Roofing is we show up. Our goal at Fleming Roofing is to provide the reliable customer service that you deserve, and we have the resources to meet all of your roofing needs: residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. We are manufacturer certified for roof coatings, single-ply membranes, and asphalt shingles. Whenever you need a roofing professional you can count on, call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We are committed to finding the solution that meets your needs. We don't have quotas or heavy-handed sales tactics. Fleming Roofing, we have expert experience. We show up. Free estimates, residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. Check us out at FlemingHSV.com. FlemingHSV.com. When you need a quick response, it's Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
This is Wes Neighbors with Philip with Eagle Insulation, and we have an announcement to make.
Yes, Wes, we are now Eagle Masonry and Insulation. Still a place to call for your installation needs, but now we offer masonry services.
What kind of masonry projects can you handle?
Wes, no job is too big, no job is too small. We can do renovations, new construction, outdoor fireplaces, fire pits, brick landscape borders.
Well, when you came out to my house, you did both the insulation and masonry at the same time. You guys did rock for me, you did brick for me, and you insulated my house. That's usually done at the same time that you're building a house.
Absolutely. It really capitalizes on two services you need at the same time, and you can get one company to handle both of those.
Philip with Eagle Insulation will come out, do your installation. He'll do your masonry. They do a great job. They guarantee your work. Check out more online at insulatedwitheagle.com and schedule your free examination today. 256-755-1556.
Thanks, Wes.
Bailey Custom Boats. We knew our boats were special when we would stop at any outdoor store to stock up on supplies for a boat trip, only to come back out to the parking lot and see people standing on and around our boat and a confused sales rep telling them it's not for sale and they don't even have that type of boat. Fast forward a few years, and now you can buy your very own one-of-a-kind Bailey Custom Boat. We hand-cut our wood from cypress we pull from the river in Mississippi. There's a lifetime warranty on the bill. Faster and more maneuverable like a ski boat, and better fuel mileage than any pontoon on the market. With 350 horsepower, a Bailey Custom Boat will go 0 to 60 in about 6 seconds. And our custom boats are Coast Guard approved for offshore and virtually unsinkable. We'll be showcasing our custom boats at different lakes over the next few weeks. Find out where at BaileyCustomBoats.com on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. We're taking orders now for 2023 delivery from April to May. You gotta pay to play. BaileyCustomBoats.com.
And welcome back to the Afternoon Blitz here on the Tennessee Valley Blitz Sports Network. I'm your host, the Bandi Man, Bailey Lowry, joined on my right by Captain Cool John Abraham.
Hi. Sorry. Sorry, my voice. It was a little. I got it now. I think it's deep.
He started becoming a Taurus twin.
No. Hey, can we get that sounder right there? Can we start making fun of
The Chad has that one, actually. I need to get that from the Chad.
I wanted the sounder of you saying it, so then we could both be
that's
Taurus
not
twin,
happening.
Taurus twins.
I know you've been eating too many mints.
They're tasty, though.
But you know what I just realized what we're a couple of days away from?
What?
Comic-Con's about to happen soon. New York
crap.
Comic-Con.
Yes, Comic-Con.
And I forgot they put out a tweet on September 30th that we're going to finally get our first look at the Mario movie.
It's a me.
The one with Chris Pratt and Charlie Day and Jack Black, Seth Rogen.
Who's Jack Black playing?
Jack Black's playing Bowser.
That's great. That's perfect. As it should be.
Seth Rogen is Donkey Kong.
That's perfect. That's
Hey,
perfect.
you know what today is, too?
What's that?
National Boyfriend Day.
He asked me what day it was.
It's October 3rd.
I hadn't seen that movie in so long.
It's October 3rd. Mean Girls, right?
Yes, Mean Girls.
Yeah, I know my stuff.
Yes, of course, the Twitterverse is all nuts about Mean Girls Day, which, actually, that's a movie I don't mind.
I don't mind
It's
it
a good
either.
movie.
I think it's like that John Tucker Must Die as
Yeah.
well. Like, it's entertaining, and that's something. And plus, Lacey Chabert. Ooh, but yeah, Lacey Chabert. Yeah, that's
There you go.
Now she does all the Hallmark movies. Like, she basically is like the owner of the Hallmark movie.
Raving review.
But anyway, music means we're done with hour number 1. Hour number 2, we got Patrick Garvin of UGAsports.com. Whoa. That's going to be on the line with us. What the hell happened with Georgia last week? And what are they going to be doing to correct it to go against Auburn in the Deep South's oldest rivalry? We'll find that out on the other side. You're listening to the Afternoon Blitz.
Do you have discomfort in your legs? Varicose veins can affect not only how your legs look, but how they feel. Symptoms of varicose veins include pain, swelling, aching, heaviness, and fatigue. Dr. Tracy Lowry of Best Vein Care of Huntsville can diagnose and treat your varicose veins with the latest minimally invasive techniques. Diagnosis and treatment is covered by most insurances. Call 256-715-7151 to schedule your free screening. Go to bestveincarehuntsville.com.
Tom Luganbill here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
Organizations using Salesforce know how powerful the platform is and how much time, money, and headaches it saves if it's set up right and you know how to use it. Let's face it, Salesforce is complicated and time-consuming to figure out, and a lot can go wrong now and down the road without expert help. That's why most Salesforce users work with an implementation partner like Higher Echelon, so they get the absolute most out of their Salesforce investment. Higher Echelon is a 5-star Salesforce consulting partner who won Salesforce Military Hiring Partner of the Year. President Dr. Joe Ross is retired Army who played and later coached for the cadets. He puts that experience to good use at Higher Echelon, where they pride themselves on hiring veterans. Look, not all Salesforce partners are the same. Don't put your company at risk by going with an inferior partner. Higher Echelon is the trusted partner you can count on to get you up and running and seeing returns on your Salesforce investment in a fraction of the time it would take if you go it alone. Go to higherechelon.com. That's HIGHERECHELON.com to learn more. Go higher and go Army.
Does your water stain and damage your fixtures? Does it smell or taste bad? Are you worried about what's in your water? Water quality should not be painful and worrisome. Get HydroCare water systems from Wave Home Solutions with the most advanced purification technologies. Call Wave Home Solutions today at 1-866-979-9147 or go to bestwaternow.com. HydroCare will eliminate limescale that causes hundreds of dollars in damage to pipes and appliances without using salt. Well water will no longer smell or stain your fixtures. City water will be purified of harmful chlorine, lead, arsenic, and chemicals. Wave Home Solutions provides the cleanest, healthiest water at every faucet. Satisfaction guaranteed. For more information, call 1-866-979-9147, 1-866-979-9147, or go to bestwaternow.com. That's bestwaternow.com.
Wave Home Solutions for a healthy, comfortable home.
This hour of the Blitz is brought to you by Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Online at FlemingHSV.com. Welcome to the evolution of sports radio.
You see, in this industry, just like in life, everything evolves.
Call 256-576-4977 to make your audible for the Blitz.
That man is playing Galaga. Thought we wouldn't notice, but we did.
It's the Afternoon Blitz. Here are your hosts, Smokey, Captain Cool, and the Bandi Man.
We coming in hot for hour number 2 right here on the Afternoon Blitz, on the Tennessee Valley Blitz right here. 256-576-4977 is the phone number to get into the program on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. On Twitter, you can follow us, Smokey right here, at Rose Scholar, the Bandi Man at BLarry2016, the Captain at CPT Cool 420.
Yeah.
You can also follow the guy that we have, well, not just the guy, he's not a guy. He is one of the guys to cover a fantastic job over at UGAsports.com, which Georgia is one of those teams that we always look around and just keep an eye on here in the state of Alabama, especially in the last 5 years. And now with Georgia and Auburn in the Deep South's oldest rivalry, I don't know if it's still called that, but I know that as that particular game. He is from UGAsports.com, one Mr. Patrick Gartman. Patrick, afternoon, sir. How are you?
Great. How you guys doing?
Doing great.
Doing good.
Cannot complain at all. Cannot
Great.
complain. First and foremost, and I'm going to be coming out just a little bit hot, and I need you to help figure this out for me. What happened?
Simply put, right?
What happened in Como this weekend? Like, what? I swear it was just like I was seeing some voodoo. I was seeing the Twilight Zone. I mean, we officially got into spooky season in October, and then all of a sudden, Georgia's like a brand new episode of the Twilight Zone. What did Missouri do that bothered Georgia, and what was going on with this Georgia team that basically was, well, it wasn't basically, they were down 3/4 of Missouri and then come back in the fourth to win the game, but what, can you analyze this game for me and let me know what happened here?
Yeah, I think from the offensive standpoint, they simply got off to a really slow start. I mean, their first 5 drives ended with a punt or a fumble. You compare that when they played at South Carolina, and they jumped up to that quick 21-0 lead. And South Carolina then had 0 home field advantage. In Columbia the other night, when Georgia started off slow and Georgia got down, all of a sudden I was there, and that place came alive. And I think it bothered Georgia, and it took them time to get on track. But to their credit, after those first 5 drives of punting or losing a fumble, they then go 6 straight drives where they score, and then their final drive, that 7th, after those first 5, they ran out the clock. So it was disappointing, but I could say that Missouri kind of caught fire there. But at the same time, toward the end, when Georgia really needed to put it together, I mean, you look at those fourth quarter statistics, for example, and it's eye-popping. About 106 rushing yards after only rushing for about 60 the first 3 quarters. So the team changed, and, they kind of won the game when they had to win the game, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying. So it's kind of like going against Auburn heading into this week now that they're going to be back at home in Athens. I mean, you could potentially not really see those problems that they had against Missouri really being an issue at the start now that they're back at home.
I think for one thing, Vegas doesn't think so. Georgia's a 29-point favorite, I saw, which I almost fell out of my chair. That was staggeringly high. But yeah, I think there's that notion, that Georgia's back at home now, and SEC starts, and as you said, it's the it's the Deep South's oldest rivalry. There's a lot of history to it. There's a history of teams, I think 8 times since the early 60s, a double-digit underdog in this rivalry has won the game outright. And let's face it, this is a series where there hasn't been too many double-digit favorites. So for that to happen 8 times, that's pretty notable, I think. But a lot of history to it, a lot of upsets, and Georgia knows this. Kirby knows it. Kirby Smart, that's for sure. He mentioned it this morning. Yeah, I could see the team coming back and certainly not having a performance like they did Saturday, and getting back to how people were kind of what they saw from Georgia that first month of the season.
Yeah, and with the game, it was very kind of shaky. Okay, I'll say that. Especially with Jalen Carter being injured yet again, and this one he might be out for next week as well. What can Georgia's defense really do to make up for that loss of such a great defensive tackle?
Yeah, and on that, it's a huge loss. I mean, but at the same time, Carter in the first few games had a nagging ankle. He's hasn't had a tackle for loss yet this season. Obviously, no sacks in, only a few tackles. He's been rather limited. So those guys who do need to step up have stepped up. Guys like Tramel Waltower and today we spoke with Zion Logue as well, Nazir Stackhouse. So they're Georgia's. Certainly it's a loss with not having Carter there, but they still are pretty solid up front defensively.
Patrick Garvin, UGAsports.com on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. And Patrick, you were at Kirby Smart's press conference that just ended a few minutes ago, and that you've got the presser on UGAsports.com that people can go and take a look at. What did you get from Kirby that from that press conference on how, let's see, what's the word I'm looking for? How hopeful or like optimistic he is that they're going to be able to turn this thing around for Auburn this upcoming week? Because Auburn, while shaky on offense, they do bring a solid defense. So if Georgia has that issue with the offense again, I mean, granted, we've seen Auburn take leads in the first half all throughout the time and then completely blow it. But I'm just what you got a feeling of worry from Kirby or like just not hesitation? What am I?
Just unsure.
Unsure. Yes. Thank you.
I don't think so. And he kind of answered this following the game. I mean, following the game on Saturday, you thought Georgia covered the 30.5-point spread, and easily handled Missouri. But what he's mentioning is composure and resiliency. So he's almost taken a negative, what happened in Columbia, and said, hey, our team must have some composure and resiliency, and he's proud of that for the way they, during the second half, particularly in the fourth quarter, were able to turn that around. And just based on their performance and any performance going forward, I think he's confident in his group's composure and its resiliency. And I think he also knows this is a young, inexperienced group. And to face that adversity like they did in Columbia and to prevail, if you will, going through all that. Because, a lot of inexperienced teams, you're down by 10, it's over. But Georgia's able to fight back. And I think Smart, if anything from the game, that's what he gathered more so than anything negative.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine it's that same kind of mentality, really, that Kirby Smart talks about that's allowed him to really develop that trademark defense at Georgia just over these years that they're known for, just being really tenacious and rock solid.
Yeah, and kind of what the offense did. The defense did the same pretty much when they had to buckle down and keep Missouri from moving down the field. They were able to do it. That I think that's what he takes from it, and I think that's what he's kind of thinks about when facing teams like Auburn and then Vanderbilt the following week before going into the off week, which then leads into Florida, obviously.
And whenever you were talking about the whole home field advantage that Missouri had in that last game, it seemed like it was a pretty big deal. Georgia was a little, again, shaky. But moving forward in the schedule, okay, you get to go against Auburn next week. You get Vanderbilt. All of these next few games are going to be at home until you have to go up against Mississippi State. And kind of what are your biggest concerns moving forward with these away games like Mississippi State and Kentucky, or even if not a away game that is a concern, but any of these other games on your schedule, which of these games is your biggest concern for Georgia?
Yeah, and I believe I spoke with you guys like right at the beginning of the season. I said the one area that I saw that could be troubling was when Georgia does play Tennessee at home, which obviously I don't think will be an easy win. But then you go from there and go at Mississippi State and then at Kentucky, which I think Kentucky showed on Saturday, even though, a game they should have won, but they're certainly a viable team that Georgia has to worry about. At the same time, though, generally inexperienced teams, especially that inexperienced Georgia secondary, by the end of the year, they're playing better. And so that could be an interesting matchup too, especially considering Mississippi State's passing game and Kentucky's as well.
Patrick Garvin, UGAsports.com, on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline, and then you can follow him on Twitter as well, at Patrick Garvin. I'm just looking at this roster, and I'm thinking, Stetson Bennett is probably the best quarterback that Georgia could have asked for on this one because of his experience, his moxie, and what he brings to this particular team. Because what happened in Como, if there was, say, like a true freshman, like if the Jalen Milroe, let's just put it compared to Alabama, a Jalen Milroe came into that one, I don't know if we'd be talking a Missouri upset of the ages going on right here. But how vital is Stetson Bennett to this offense, Patrick?
He's just cool. Calm, cool. We get him 10 minutes after the game, or games, because I believe we've got him every game, in post-game interviews, and he's just as calm, as cool as if we were to get him on a random Tuesday to talk to him. He just seems like that type that comes into a huddle and can calm everybody down. And he's the type, like I said, when Georgia's offense had to get going, when they had to get moving, when they had to score points or they were going to lose. And Stetson's demonstrated this now, including against Alabama in the title game. He just gets it done. And, you can't say that about, a lot of guys are bigger and stronger and going to be better NFL prospects, certainly. In fact, a lot of them. However, I don't know if I've ever spoken with or been around a quarterback who's just so calm and comfortable. And, I think that the offense, sees that, and they're able to, be more efficient because of it.
Now, I know this is going to look pretty far into the future because we're going to be eventually getting a playoff expansion. But I'm just kind of curious from a standpoint, what would be a matchup you would like to see in that expanded playoff, like within conference or otherwise, that you would like to see Georgia go up against?
Oh gosh, I'm a kind of a Georgia football history guy, so I don't know. I mean, I can give you a bunch of answers. I think what so Georgia fans, now that they know that they can beat the best, right? That Georgia can beat the best. They really want the best. We get Alabama occasionally. Georgia plays Clemson occasionally. I think a lot of Georgia fans would like to see Georgia play a team like Ohio State, which Georgia actually did have a home scheduled with a while back, but it got canceled. I don't know. I think Ohio State would be. I'm just sitting here. That's the first one that pops off the top of my head.
That's
would
exactly
be a
what I was
really
thinking.
neat.
Especially since it was so close to happening already.
Yeah, exactly. And they've only played one another once, which happened to be Kirk Herbstreit of ESPN's final game in the '92 Citrus or '93 January 1st '93 Citrus Bowl, which Georgia won 21-14. So, yeah, I think Georgia fans would like to expand on that one-game series with the Buckeyes.
That's one thing about Patrick right here. You follow him on Twitter at Patrick Garvin. He'll give you that Georgia history throughout his timeline as he previews each and every game.
Probably too much, right?
Final question I got for you, Patrick, before we let you go. I'm looking at the wide receivers, and granted, Brock Bowers is the one that gets all the love because the dude is a freak. I mean, he could run the ball, he could catch the ball, he could basically do everything. And if Stetson Bennett won the quarterback, I expect Brock Bowers would be like Wildcat or something like that. But Ladd McConkey is one of those that he's like a Hunter Renfro at Clemson. Like one of those where he just, whenever, like he just comes out of nowhere. Just like, all right, yeah, if we need something and Bowers is double teamed, you got to go to Ladd. He's Mr. Reliable. And just looking at him and Brock Bowers, I know we got Kenny McIntosh with 22 receptions as well. But how vital is it for these wide receivers to start improving and working on getting more catches because of that three-game stretch with Tennessee, at Mississippi State, and at Kentucky in order for this offense to really start rolling at the end of the season?
Yeah, it kind of began last year when Georgia had some injuries at receiver, so that's when they started to go to guys like Ladd McConkey. That's when they started to throw to tight ends more like Brock. And what's happened is now, you have, I mean, I think it's let's see, Georgia has, I saw something the other day. So Georgia has 3 players with 20-plus receptions, which is second in the conference behind Mississippi State's 4. But also the number of different guys Georgia's had catch passes is extraordinary. In other words, they're deep. They got a lot of players like Ladd that maybe weren't expected to really. I mean, if you would have, when they signed McConkey, a couple years ago, I don't think many Georgia fans envisioned that he would, be catching 30-plus passes last year, have 20 this year, would rush for touchdowns this year and last year. And, guys like him, Brock, and Georgia has several of them that they can run the ball too. Ladd can return punts as well. So Georgia just has a lot of versatile guys that can play receiver, and it's helped. But it began last year when they really needed them, and now, like I said, they're pretty deep.
Patrick, let the people know how they can reach out to you on the socials and read your work.
Yeah, well, at Patrick Garbin, that's Garbin, is my Twitter handle, and of course, they can go to UGAsports.com. We always have new stuff going up, previews, analysis, history-related stuff, and a lot of recruiting-related stuff. So that's at UGAsports.com of the Rivals Network.
Patrick, much appreciate the time, sir, and we'll be talking to
Yes,
you
sir.
later on in the season. I know I want to get you for Georgia, Tennessee, with me being a ball fan, but first and foremost,
Okay,
I got to worry about next week. Well, this week first.
Yeah.
This week.
Yeah, I think so.
But appreciate the time, sir, and have yourself a good one.
All right, y'all too. I appreciate y'all having me on.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Patrick Garvin, UGAsports.com on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. And that's a little bit of good insight right there on the mindset of Kirby, especially with the way Georgia has not been performing up to par in the last 2 weeks.
I mean, I will say it's a different type of team because they haven't scored over 50 points. And when it comes to the top-ranked team in all of America, okay, scoring over 50 is one of those things you do occasionally at least. I mean, they scored 33. They shut out Samford, okay, 33-0. Then they go play Georgia, or they play South Carolina. They score 48, okay? Then they play Kent State. They score 39. And then Mizzou, they score 26, okay? Their defense is slipping, it seems like. They're slipping a little bit, okay? And then, don't get me wrong, okay? That first game against Oregon was solid, okay? It was a shutout in everybody's eyes, okay? It was 49. They're right on that line, okay? And now they're going into probably the toughest part of their schedule, maybe later on a little bit. I think once they play Florida, that's when it's going to go like straight up Tennessee. They got Mississippi State, they got Kentucky. Those are all top-ranked teams right there. So it's only going to get harder for Georgia, and I hope that they can start performing a little bit better because I love to see a good, dominant team. And Georgia is definitely one of those that can stand right next to Alabama, and I love to see it. So it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting. Hopefully Stetson Bennett can keep that team all straight, and he can rally them to a pretty good season. But right now, things are a little unclear.
Little reaction going on to our conversation for today. Yorkie has put in the chat as well that he's a Saints fan, diehard Saints fan.
Yeah.
And he's like, the Saints should have never gotten rid of Teddy Bridgewater.
No, they shouldn't.
He is a big Bridgewater guy and wished that Bridgewater would be back in New Orleans. And also the winners and losers that we put out on Twitter. You can follow us on Twitter. I'm at Rose Scholar. The captain's at CPT Cool 420, and Bandy's at B Larry 2016. We got Seth Eves at Sports Junkie 94 putting in his 2 cents, with the winner being the Chiefs, with the Bills and Raiders being an honorable mention, and then the loser being the Panthers and Baker Mayfield, with the Bears and Lions at a dishonorable mention.
Oh, jeez. All good picks. Okay, I want to say this right now. I picked the Browns and the Falcons, and I know it seems like I'm just being kind of, biased because I watched the Browns game and it was freaking awesome. But I got to say, this is a big deal for the Falcons because the Falcons, they got 2 wins in the span of 4 games, and they're looking like they could probably get a few more going forward. And now that they have a solid little running game they got going on, hopefully they can perform a little bit better against other teams that aren't the Browns defense because, jeez. Browns.
You do really have, you are a master of the backhanded compliment. I will say that.
I got something.
You're good at it.
I got a lot, all right? But, hey, the Falcons, they performed just a little bit better than the Browns, so I'll give them a little dub. But in all reality, though, I would honestly, the Chiefs are a good little winner for this for the week. But it's, we'll see. Maybe all the teams can get a little shaken up next week. Yeah.
We're going to take a quick commercial break, pay some bills, and then when we get back, it's going to be the play-by-play with the Bandy Man. Also, I'm very curious to see if he's going to talk about the newest edition of a certain particular person in 2K23, the PGA variety.
Oh, yeah, I did see that.
Oh.
We also had some good news come out actually pretty recently during the show that I'm going to be able to report on.
Okay.
Beautiful. So we're going to have that on the other side. You're listening to the Afternoon Blitz.
AVIQ. Who is AVIQ? AVIQ is audiovisual the intelligent way, where we put our IQ to work for your AV needs. With more than 100 years combined experience in audio, video, and automation, our team of experts is dedicated to one thing: helping you discover technological solutions that make your home special. Once you experience a game or a movie on one of our state-of-the-art home theater systems, you may never leave the house again. AVIQ can build the entire system for you or provide the quality components if you're a do-it-yourselfer. But AVIQ is more than just home theater and state-of-the-art sound systems. We offer a variety of control options for home technology. Energy efficiency, heightened security, and improved quality of life are all attainable through the automation of home systems. Intuitive and user-friendly control is our main priority in designing a system that meets your needs. Don't just take our word for it. You need to see it to believe it. Come visit us at our state-of-the-art showroom on University, just east of Jim and Nick's, across from AT&T, or visit aviqhsv.com.
I'm here with Stan McDonald of the Stanton Law Firm. Stan, I guess you are the Stanton in the law firm.
Yes, Wes, that's me, and we started the Stanton Law Firm so that myself and 4 other attorneys with me can help clients litigate, negotiate, and creatively solve legal and real estate problems.
Now, Stan, you grew up on a family farm in this area and have made a name closing on houses and land with your closing company, Jacob Title.
I grew up on a farm which used to be in the country. That, plus having closed on so many homes and farms, one of my colleagues started referring to me as a classic dirt lawyer. Now, I didn't know how to take that at first, that tag, but I realized that's exactly what I do and what I am.
And I know the attorneys at Stanton Law Firm are regular listeners, and we plan to have you on periodically. You and I have seen have impacted this community.
Stay tuned, and you may hear about friends like Steve Booker, Clarence Johnson, Thomas Boyd, and even a few of those offensive line hogs like Hoss Johnson, and maybe you remember some other of those guys too.
I remember Clarence Johnson. He beat us one year. He was unbelievable.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers. With us today, Dr. Tracy Lowry of Best Vein Care of Huntsville.
When we evaluate a patient and they indeed have significant venous disease, most third-party payers, private insurance, Medicare, require us to treat every patient conservatively at least 90 days. Conservative treatment includes increasing ambulation, elevation of the legs, and the wearing of compression stockings. It's very common for folks to come see us in March or April wanting to have their veins fixed before they go into swimsuits starting in June. When we see someone in March or April, they're going to require at least 90 days of conservative treatment before we can even go to the insurance carrier to get permission to treat their veins. So if you think you have a venous problem, now is the time to come in and get a free screening so we can determine whether or not you need something evaluated. If you have a vein problem or you think you may have a vein problem, now's the time to contact us at bestveincarehuntsville.com.
Look out in the street there. You know what you don't see? My car, because I had to sell it to pay the lawyer I hired when I got busted for drunk driving. You know what else you don't see? My girlfriend, who decided that a guy with no car, no license, and no money was no fun. And hey, you know what else you don't see? You don't see me leaving for work in the morning, because I missed so much time with court and everything that I got fired.
Drive sober or get pulled over. Paid for by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
Afternoon Blitz here on the Tennessee Valley Blitz Sports Network. I'm your host, the Bandi Man Bailey Lowry. On my right, Captain Cool John Abraham.
What's good, everybody?
And keeping us on the air behind the glass, our always reliable producer, Smokey Mike Huncho.
Always.
You know what makes me mad?
What makes you mad?
These people that claim to have, they make fantastic brisket and it looks like crap.
True.
Dry brisket.
No.
People who post their food on Twitter.
Why do you need dry meat? I don't want jerky.
You want that moist meat, right? You want that moist meat,
That
is that
moist
it?
meat.
Just tell them. Just tell the people.
I want that shoulder.
Yeah.
I like it medium rare.
I'm more of a medium guy.
Yeah.
Medium?
But I mean, I gotta have some juices in there.
Understandable. Understandable.
I like it medium rare because they always tend to overcook it when they mistake it.
Yeah.
So at worst, I'm getting medium.
Yeah. Yeah. So it usually does go to
Yeah.
I understand. Understand.
Yeah.
Me and you.
If they mess up, it's a medium.
High five. Clunk. Yep. We get the little high five in. I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh yeah, Yorkie. By the way, I know you said something about the Saints. You're a big fan of the Saints. Tell us how you feel about those new helmets and how they looked on that white jersey. Because honestly, I didn't like it at first, but when I watched the game, I was kind of like, okay, it's not too bad, but I think it looked better with like a black jersey or something, all blacks.
Hey, you know what?
What?
We're not gonna be just on here this week.
Oh no. What do you mean?
What do you mean?
On Thursday, we're gonna be on the zone.
Oh, they're bringing us up again?
Yeah.
In what type of way?
The big Tom's going out. We're gonna fill in with the Chad.
Oh, the Chad. Oh, the Captain Cool. Is it going to be the Captain Cool show? What's the show going to be called? It can't be the Tom Abraham show.
It's going to be the Tom.
It's going to be the Tom Abraham show.
Oh, jeez, we're going to ruin the reputation. No, I'm just kidding. We're going to keep it serious.
And
all right.
You two were known as the Blitz Boys.
Yeah. Yep. The Blitz Boys coming.
That's what he calls y'all.
The Blitz Boys and the Chad. I like that.
But see, we got to introduce him to the new generation of Abraham.
So you boys are going to be up there Thursday with filling in for the Tom, while you guys are going to come back and do the afternoon Blitz over here on the Blitz.
Hell yeah!
And then of course it's Smokey and the Chad Friday for the Tom from 10 to 12 in the morning on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. You know what? Get the app.
Make sure you guys
get the app.
Get the 97.7 The Zone app, and as well as the Blitz Sports Radio app, because with the Blitz Sports Radio app, you can get Army football around the clock and around the NFL on Sundays, as the ESPN will take you throughout all the NFL games. And then with the Zone, you got Falcons, you got Braves, which Braves are going on a playoff run, which means also for Crawdad's Countdown to Kickoff, who we have on Thursdays, if Braves are on Zone, Crawdad's on the Blitz. So it's good to get both apps.
Oh yeah.
And it's not much on the memory, which a lot of people are concerned about it with these apps nowadays, is how much memory it will take in.
Yeah. These are small apps right now. They're radio apps.
Right.
They won't take up too much space. And by the way, since we're plugging so much stuff right now, we should also plug this hour's sponsor, Woody Anderson Ford, because it's the place to go for the best cars, for the cheapest prices. They got a great little setup over there. And you know what? It looks so nice in their little factory, their little drive-in. You drive in, get your car checked out and all that stuff, get out of there pretty quick. It carries over to their deals and their cars and just the service that they give you, because they are spectacular people, and they've done plenty for my family, and they've done plenty for millions of other families. But, Bandi, the floor is now yours.
Because we got some good video game news going on. Guess what? PlayStation stuff has been leaked. A document's been leaked about what could be coming in the future. Good news for Guilty Gear fans. Some very bad news for Killer Instinct fans. And we can finally say it. Overwatch is officially dead. That's all coming up here on the E-Play-by-Play.
It's dead, Jim.
Time to catch up on esports with E-Play-by-Play with the Bandi Man.
Oh my goodness, PlayStation! You just can't keep messing up. But either way, we got a leak. We got a document that came forward actually just about an hour ago.
Okay.
Potentially leaking some of PlayStation's future projects, which include a Horizon Zero Dawn remake for some reason.
I saw a picture of that, by the way. Her face looks a little bit wider. I don't know what they're trying to do there, but you know what? It's whatever.
I mean, I don't get it. Typically, when you remake something, it needs to be remade. There's no point to remake something on the PS4. It's a little...
Yeah.
It's a little too early for that. It's not really a remake.
It's kind of like what they did with The Last of Us. They're just like constantly just remaking the game. I don't know how many remakes are out, but geez, it's just ridiculous.
Well, we've got a list. Apparently, there's also going to be a Horizon Online game, mass multiplayer.
Cool.
Then I'm going to say the developers first, and then the codename of the game. So we have Fire Sprite, Heartbreak, which is going to be a survival horror game. Sumo Digital Carbon, open world multiplayer. All right. Lucid Games Red Star. I'm going to talk about this one a little bit because I'm excited for this one. Because this has potentially been decoded to be a Twisted Metal game.
Ooh, they're bringing it back.
Vehicle combat multiplayer, PS5 exclusive.
Of course.
So this is really hinting at being Twisted Metal in 2023. Please make it happen. I love that franchise.
Oh, that'd be awesome. I used to play it all the time on the PSP because that was mainly the console I played. That was PlayStation. By the way, Bandi, I was going to bring in my PS Vita today and show you some Madden 13 because it's the only Madden that's on it. But it had to charge because it's been sitting on my shelf for the last 2 years.
I understand that. I can't even find mine. And then we have one more.
I don't have one, so I don't know.
Then we got one more, another big one. Kojima Productions. Oh. That should already raise some eyebrows whenever you hear Kojima.
It's got both of them.
Codename Ocean. Open world PS5. What people are theorizing this is a Death Stranding sequel. Potentially Death Stranding 2.
On water?
On water.
Because the name's Ocean. I mean, it's Ocean.
You could be on a boat now. It could be a boat simulator.
Yeah, it could be, the trailer whenever the guy falls into the water and there's a baby inside of him? Something like that. It's a weird game.
It's a very weird game.
Did you say boat?
I said baby inside of a man.
No, I said Bandi. I meant to ask Bandi. Did you say boat?
Boat.
A boat? So should I say, should I queue up? We're on a boat?
I'm on a boat.
No, you should.
Do it.
Or Lonely Island. Boats in...
You know, actually, I'm going to keep this video game music in the background. It fits.
Keep it going.
It fits the game perfectly.
Yeah.
Or it fits the E-Play-by-Play.
Now, Guilty Gear. So, they're having an update that's going to introduce crossplay.
Nice.
Fantastic. So, when it comes to Game Pass, everybody from Xbox to PlayStation to PC will be able to play each other on ranked, on ladders and parks all the time. Does nothing but great stuff for the game. And they're now having their open beta test, and it's going to launch... It looks like here October 13th through October 17th. And the good news, it's a separate application.
Oh.
So you don't even have to own the game to play it. If you have a PS4, PS5, or PC, and you're interested in Guilty Gear, you can download this for free on the 13th, and you'll have access to not only that ranked mode, ladder, all that training mode, all the modes, but also all the DLC characters to try out.
That's nice.
So if you want to play Brisket, or Happy Chaos, Brisket, or Happy Chaos, or Bikin', go for it. You'll have access to all of them during this time.
I wish that they brought it to the Xbox just for a few weeks, maybe, and then they were just like, okay, now it's we gotta wait until March next year. So
Yeah, I'm excited though because they're gonna get this beta out of the way. They're gonna test it out,
Yeah.
and giving access to all the characters for free. Good stuff from Arxis. Keep it up.
That's a pog move.
And speaking of Game Pass, another game's coming to it this October. Well, this month.
Ooh.
And it's a game I'm very familiar with. It came out on PC last November, but it's called Gunfire Reborn. And now what this is a four-player co-op roguelite shooter. So what it means, you and 3 of your friends can go through multiple labyrinths, progressing levels, upgrading your build, upgrading your character, and trying to make it all the way to the end and survive.
Ooh, this looks pretty cool.
And all the characters in this game all have really cool designs, really unique abilities, all different styles of play, and it just makes for a lot of interesting team comps so you can make with your buddies to try to get as far as possible. And there's a ton of difficulty settings you can make. They just implemented a new spiritual system where it even further randomizes the game because every run you do is randomized.
Mm-hmm.
It's different every time. But either way, this is coming to Game Pass this month. I highly, highly recommend y'all download it. Give it a shot.
And it's got a cool little cell shading style. I like to see that again.
Yeah, it's very fun. I've put a ridiculous amount of hours into Gunfire.
All right, I'll hop on there with you then.
I do hope it's crossplay because I don't want to start over.
Yeah.
Because, max level, whatever. But bad news for Killer Instinct fans. One of my favorite fighting games. I would say modern fighting games because this was one that launched with the original Xbox One, but a hacker has reportedly gotten into the online code and has now permanently taken down ranked mode. So ranked mode is now currently unplayable on Killer Instinct, and we're talking about a game that hasn't received an update, which was the compatibility crossplay update with Xbox. It didn't receive that update in 2018, and then it has not been touched since. So I don't think we have a very bright future for this getting fixed. And that's sad because Killer Instinct still has an active community when it comes to fighting games. And people grind ranked, to warm up for tournaments if they can't really warm up with their friends. But on the plus side, at the very least, exhibition and lobby mode still does work, so you can still play with your buddies online. But ranked mode, you can't grind anymore. You can't grind ranked. You can't grind your rank on the ladder. You can't try to go for number 1 in the world or anything, or number 1 on your character. You just can't do it anymore, and sadly, I don't think it's ever going to get fixed.
It's people ruining the games for us. I hate it.
God, I bet it was an Omen player.
Yeah, probably. Some salty moy.
That'd be my guess. But Void, a professional Smash Brothers and I guess now Multiverses player as well, has released his latest patch tier list for 2v2 specifically.
Okay.
And there's some names on this list, and I'm surprised at where they're at. So at the very top, the top 5, in his opinion, in the game, Velma, which I'm surprised. She has received absolutely nothing but nerfs for the last, 3-4 patches?
Yeah.
I believe actually even since the first one.
Yeah.
And then Wonder Woman.
Okay.
Morty.
Morty?
And Gizmo. The Gremlin. And then number 5, because he will never escape the top 5, Bugs Bunny. Bugs Bunny will always hang around.
Yeah.
He's just like a little mole.
By the way, does Velma still have the cop car thing? I know they took that away from her. What did they replace it with?
The mystery machine.
It's the mystery machine pulls up now. That's actually kind of cool. I gotta admit.
It's cool, but it was kind of fun. Just like that, get him, officer.
Yeah,
that's him.
The cop was a little random, but it was a little bit funny. Okay, but the mystery machine makes a little bit more sense, and it's kind of cool to see that in the game. So.
Now I'll never get over saying this sentence because of how weird it is, but surprisingly, LeBron is a low tier. He's high tier. He's high tier on the court. He's top tier in the NBA. But here in Multiverses, he is sitting near the very bottom, actually second to last. We're actually talking almost bottom tier.
Yeah, it makes sense though how bad that movie was.
Space Jam 2?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
But I'm gonna give y'all each one guess. Who do you think is at the very bottom of the tier list? If you had to take a guess.
I would say Rain Dog.
Rain Dog?
Yeah.
The original character. Smokey, do you have a guess?
I gotta go with the captain on this one.
Rain Dog.
Very close. third from the bottom.
Aw.
The worst character is apparently Garnet from Steven Universe.
Oh, the first thing that came to my mind was like Steven from Steven Universe, but I was like, no, he's good. And then I was like, I just totally forgot that there was another Steven Universe character. I wonder what makes her. Is this just for duos?
Yeah, just for 2v2.
Huh.
Because I'm not gonna lie, 1v1s and multiverses are broken.
Yeah.
It's not built for 1v1s. Because if you've seen some of the Twitter clips that I like on Twitter and some of the 1v1 solo combos, it's clearly not built for a 1v1 format because of how long they go and how easily you can kill your opponent.
Yeah, we gotta hop on there.
Yeah, we're talking like Smash 64 levels of combos. But Black Ops 2, I never thought I would talk about this game again. But they're holding, during the Call of Duty offseason, they're going to be holding a $25,000 invitational with a twist. They're not going to be playing on Vanguard. We're not even going to be playing on Modern Warfare 2019. Black Ops 2. There's going to be a Black Ops 2 tournament in 2022.
Let's go.
And I am so excited because you're bringing in like old names like Scump, like big names like Scump, Big Timer, Arc Cities, Prestony, Karma, Rambo, Merc, Temp, like all these good names. And then even like also current players, Embos, Killer, Crimsix. Well, actually Crimsix is retired now. JCap, Aches, Envoy. You got all these current players with a mix of the past who played Black Ops 2 in their prime coming together in like a 4-team format. And I can't wait for this.
No, yeah, it's going to be awesome to be able to see these guys playing this game that a lot of people, I mean, they still give it some love, but you don't see it as much, especially by these top-tier dudes. I mean, like, getting to see them play Black Ops 2 again, if you haven't got to see them before, now is your chance, and it's going to be one heck of a show.
Black Ops 2, if you didn't get a chance to play it in its prime, was probably, I would say next to Modern Warfare 3, my favorite multiplayer experience ever.
Yeah, I wouldn't deny it.
Black Ops 2 multiplayer was so good and actually relatively balanced, I would say, MSMC, but M8A1. But overall, there was still like a very good variety of weapons to use. The maps were great. The guns felt great. And the pro scene during that time was really taking off.
Yeah.
And names like Scump, who you're going to be playing in this, was probably at his peak during this time. So I can't wait to see him get back on the MSMC, get back on the PDW, or maybe even back on the Remington and just start going in. Just like it's, 2013 again?
Yeah. And Black Ops 2, it really gets, like, the praise because afterwards, that's when Ghosts came out. Because Ghosts came out directly after Black Ops 2, and that's when everybody was just like, oh, this game's booty. And so everybody kept playing Black Ops 2 until there was finally another good game. And that didn't happen for quite a while.
Yeah, because after Ghost, we got Advanced Warfare.
Advanced Warfare in 2015.
It was Advanced Warfare. And then we got it was hated at the time, but overall, people came to love it, Black Ops 3.
Yeah, Black Ops 3 came out. I liked Black Ops 3 a little bit. I didn't get to play it when it first came out, but I went back after I played Black Ops 4, which is terrible. Black Ops 3, pretty spectacular game to go to. You just got to get your settings right. That's really what it is.
Now, I'm going to let y'all in on something, too. If y'all have Black Ops 3 on PC, don't play it. Because honestly, if you want to go back and play on console or like you want to go back on Xbox, PlayStation, all that, it's fine. You might run to like the occasional hacker, whatever. On PC, Activision, go back and fix this, please. It is unplayable.
Oh, jeez.
Because people can download mod menus for free from the Steam community shop for multiplayer, where it allows them to not only get other players' IPs, but also boot them offline.
Oh, yeah. You don't want to do that.
This is a free mod tool you can download, and because of that, Black Ops 3 multiplayer is on PC, just on PC, is completely broken. So, this is actually a beg. Activision, fix it. Please, do whatever you got to do. Go back, Treyarch, do something. Because underrated multiplayer, but if you want to play on PC, you're gonna get booted offline. You honestly might have your info stolen.
Yeah, don't want to do that. And there was also a big problem with Black Ops 2, even on the Xbox and just the consoles in general. That was going on with everybody. I couldn't get in a match that wasn't hacking. So I'm glad that they went back and they actually fixed that one, because if they didn't, this tournament that's coming up would not be able to happen. That is definitely for sure, and I'm glad I can hop back on. Even though now that I have the Xbox Series S, does not have a disc slot for me, so I can't play it anymore, sadly.
I'm sorry.
So you were saying this this particular stuff was what again?
So you can.
No, I'm talking to Captain. I'm sorry, Bandi.
Oh, sorry.
You described you used a particular word for it.
What?
Booty.
Booty?
Booty.
Yeah, straight booty.
So basically, you're saying that they need to have their bootios.
I knew you. You know, the only thing I would have thought of was that.
Damn it! It
He's
cut
trying.
out on me.
He's trying.
Oh, no.
He's trying to
I
get me.
tried setting it up, damn it.
Now it's your
alright.
turn. Now it happens to you.
Yeah. Bandy, get the sound up first. No, you
my
don't
God.
actually have to do that.
You know what you need?
I need healing.
Overwatch reference.
And
Cool.
speaking of that, Overwatch 2 and Overwatch 1
I need healing.
is dead.
Just Overwatch 1.
Overwatch 1 is dead.
Yeah, Overwatch 2 is almost more than alive.
It's coming out tomorrow, but what's going to happen is, I mean, the servers for Overwatch are now completely down. You cannot sign on right now as they're preparing for the launch of Overwatch 2. But we've got I actually thought that was I thought that was my computer for a second. I didn't know what that was.
That's more background music. You know, Bandy, I'm trying to experiment with some things to make sure, like, eat play-by-play.
I know that.
The music's not a bad thing.
Yeah, it's not a bad thing at all. I just heard the music and then I was like, wait. Now I lost my train of thought.
Sorry, yeah. I'm sorry.
Nice going, Smokey. Gosh.
I'm sorry that I put on some Tecmo Bowl.
Sorry, get that train of thought going again.
I know, you're right. But Overwatch 2, with it changing its gameplay format, drastically reducing the number from 6v6 to 5v5, and not exactly making it easy for new players to really get into Overwatch, or at least without putting in a lot of grinding, or you can pay $40. But that's neither here nor there.
That's not too much, though, for a free game. Okay.
That's not too much for a free game to pay $40
for characters that you should already have. Yeah, that's when it gets a little annoying.
Yeah, they also. I mean, I don't mind it. I don't really excuse having microtransactions in a beta because it's like, hey, finish your game first before you start putting in DLC. But you know what? I'm getting ahead of myself.
Halo.
Either way, Overwatch 1, you can't play it anymore. Overwatch 2 launches tomorrow. We're going to see how it goes. We'll see if the 5v5 change ends up being a good thing because they did rework a lot of heroes to kind of fit like the utility role, especially tanks, to kind of fit the new 1-1-2-2 style they're going for.
Yeah.
So like Diva, her Matrix now lasts a lot longer.
Good.
To kind of give her a lot more utility.
I like that. We were talking about that the other day, how she would not be very much of a viable character for this, but now that she has a longer shield, that makes it a way big difference.
Now, what I'm interested in seeing, I need to watch during the beta. The biggest change was they moved Doomfist from damage to tank.
Yeah, I can see that.
So, I'm interested to see how that's going to play out in comps. If he's going to be a solo tank, is he going to provide enough utility just with his uppercuts and kind of punching people away? Is that going to be enough to really carry a team?
I know, yeah.
I don't know.
He's got to have something that can shield off, the bullets that are going to be coming at your team. I mean, it's nice. It would be nice for that in the past game, Overwatch 1. But now, with just one, tank player, you can't really do that. You can't.
And I mean, his kit made more sense when it came to more of a damage role because it's like, oh, I'm going to jump in, pop, punch, slam.
Get out.
Pop, dead. Yeah. Like, it made more sense for a damage character.
Yeah.
I don't know about a tank.
Yeah, well, we'll find out tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll find out tomorrow. But we got to take a quick time out, pay some bills. When we get back, it's going to be the DF3 with Smokey Mike Contro. He's going to tell you what he's putting his money on tonight. You're listening to the Afternoon Blitz.
The Blitz has been called.
Here's Bobby White from Woody Anderson Ford on their service department.
President's Award winner 2 years in a row. That's only given to the top 10% of Ford dealers in customer satisfaction. So we're very proud of the service department. And our body shop. If you happen to get into an accident, which not a lot of people just want to go down and see a body shop, but if you get into an accident, award-winning body shop. We have state-of-the-art paint booths back there. They're waterborne paints that we use, friendly for the environment. We've got our production system, the way things are in and out. We have the fastest cycle rate in town of getting your vehicle in, getting your vehicle out, and assured that it's fixed right. We take pictures before it's wrecked, and not only after, but we take it as we're putting the parts on. All done to above industry standards. So I'm proud of our body shop too. Don't forget our parts department. So, if you have to need parts, performance parts, or just parts if you're a weekend mechanic.
Woody Anderson Ford, located at the corner of Jordan and Sparkman, as well as Hughes Road and Madison. You can also check out the great deals at WoodyAndersonFord.com.
This hour of the Blitz is brought to you by Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Online at FlemingHSV.com.
Hey folks, this is Arthur Seaton, Managing Partner at University Kia, here letting you know we are proud supporters of Madison Academy football. Stop into the University Kia today and shop our large selection of new Kias, including the all-new Telluride 8-passenger SUV, the stylish new K5, and sporty new Seltos. Visit universitykia.com to view all our great offers and get pre-approved in minutes so you can drive home your new Kia today, because we want to see you in a Kia. Go Mustangs!
This is Wes Neighbors with Philip with Eagle Insulation, and we have an announcement to make.
Yes, Wes, we are now Eagle Masonry and Insulation. Still a place to call for your installation needs, but now we offer masonry services.
What kind of masonry projects can you handle?
Wes, no job is too big, no job is too small. We can do renovations, new construction, outdoor fireplaces, fire pits, brick landscape borders.
Well, when you came out to my house, you did both the insulation and masonry at the same time. You guys did rock for me, you did brick for me, and you insulated my house. That's usually done at the same time that you're building a house.
Absolutely. It really capitalizes on two services you need at the same time, and you can get one company to handle both of those.
Philip with Eagle Insulation will come out, do your installation. He'll do your masonry. They do a great job. They guarantee your work. Check out more online at insulatedwitheagle.com and schedule your free examination today. 256-755-1556.
Thanks, Wes.
At Bryant Bank, we believe your goals are worth chasing, and every step along the way is worth celebrating. From your hopes for the future to the challenges that keep you up at night, we're here for you. Bryant Bankers put care into action to help you live legendary by stepping up when you need us most and doing what's right, even when no one is watching. Come experience a local bank whose people greet you by name and treat you like family. Bryant Bank, member FDIC.
How long does it take to get to the forest? That's not far. What are we gonna do? Hike? Sure. Are we there yet?
Yep, it's a short drive from your neighborhood to your naturehood. Visit discovertheforest.org, brought to you by the Ad Council and the U.S. Forest Service.
The Blitz has been called.
And welcome back into the Afternoon Blitz on the final segment of said Afternoon Blitz right here. You can still call in for the time that we got left. 256-576-4977 is the phone number to get into the program. Smokey alongside the captain and Bandi.
Yep.
Why? Well, yeah, you're a Browns fan. That's why. By the way, old Scuba Steve has chimed in on our winners and losers too on the Twitter. He says winner being Geno Smith, as through his first 4 games this season, with a minimum of 125 attempts, he has the highest completion percentage by a quarterback in the first 4 games of a season in NFL history.
It's a solid winner right there.
And loser, the Washington whatevers.
Yeah, those jerseys, first off, that's a loser in and of itself.
They look like the Steelers.
That I saw yesterday were abysmal.
They were terrible. It's like, what is it, college football just joined the NFL? Plus the W on the front of the helmet, worst helmet in the league.
Oh, my God.
And they honestly look like Steelers jerseys. That's why I thought I was watching it first with the black and the yellow.
It's good. It's a good take.
So, real quick before I get into the DF3, Talladega was this past weekend. Chase Elliott winning at Talladega. I was thinking about going to the fishing story, as now prosecutors are starting to investigate.
That is an insane story.
I wanted to send that to Tom. Did he bring it up on his show?
I don't know. We need to ask the chat.
He brought it up to me at dinner last night, and I was like, dang, weights inside of the fish? That's pretty freaking intelligent.
Not just weights inside of the fish
yeah,
inside of the fish.
That makes more sense, but fish don't eat metal balls, guys. Come on.
It was a fish Duncan.
Anyway, we'll table that for tomorrow.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So we'll talk about fish tomorrow.
And what type of things we could put inside a fish to make them realistically heavy.
But the Talladega Twitter account has put out stuff that is left at the Speedway throughout the weekend, or today. So,
Yeah.
let's see. First and foremost, we've got grills that are left.
Dang.
We've got some speakers that are left.
Oh.
There's actually flat screen televisions that are left.
Of course.
People left satellites too, like actual like dish satellites. It looked like.
Oops. I forgot my satellite.
Beads. If you ever been down to Talladega, beads are very.
Yeah.
It's like Mardi Gras.
Beads are fine. Beads are fine.
We got a porta potty on the side. We got pants. Somebody left jeans hanging out.
That happens.
Yes.
Those RVs.
Yes, man. That's and then last but not least, a wheelchair.
How do you forget a wheelchair?
Somebody ain't getting home.
So, on that note, I go here.
Ladies and gentlemen, the DF3.
Trouble.
All right, so DF3 means Monday Night Football. More football, the better.
Yeah.
Even though I'm going to get like $110 of DK or 110 DK dollars after today.
Ooh.
Iron Man for the Major League Baseball season, 190 days. Oh my God. Anyway, so for tonight, obviously go with Cooper Kupp.
Okay.
Got to go with Cooper Kupp.
Good one right there.
Then follow that up with let's see. I'm not feeling quarterbacks. I really am not feeling quarterbacks today, even though I do have the quarter. So you know what? I'm just going to give you the whole damn list.
Go for it.
Cooper Kupp is my captain, my multiplier, and just because quarterbacks are ones that get the most points generally for the most part, besides certain particular wide receivers.
On this one,
I'm going Stafford and Garoppolo because I like Tyler Higbee, and so I'm going to go with Kupp and Higbee to double down points with Stafford. Matt Gay, I'm also going for. Kicker for the Rams. I feel like it's going to be a decent kicking game or good opportunities for Matt Gay.
Hope so.
And last but not least, this particular wide receiver is a homer pick, but also the last time he faced the Los Angeles Rams, he was targeted 7 times, caught 6 balls for 94 and 2 touchdowns. That's one Mr. Jawan Jennings, who has that dog in him.
Hey, I like Jawan Jennings. I played against Jawan Jennings back in the day. Also, I want you to know, Mom is beating Tom right now in fantasy. Hasn't even played Cooper Kupp yet. She's got 155 points already.
What?
That score is going to be insane.
Oh, so we're going to keep you guys posted on that. We'll be back in 22 hours. You've been listening to the Afternoon Blitz.
TOC Sports has been there for you. Now, you're probably asking yourself, what does that mean? It means for more than 20 years, Alabama's largest orthopedic group has been there providing coverage and care to more schools and student athletes in the Tennessee Valley than any other group. It means whether you are the star football player, the all-region volleyball ace, or someone who hurt their knee in a weekend pickup basketball game, TOC Sports physicians are proud to